Is this some kind of joke? Haley's voice cracked as she stared at the shattered wedding ring on the kitchen table. But it wasn't the ring that broke her. It was the letter, folded neatly, ink still fresh. My handwriting, calm and surgical. I know everything. About Eric. About Ibiza. About your open marriage lie. I moved out. The bank accounts are frozen. The IRS has a gift on the way. Hope he was worth it. Ryan. She dropped her phone. Her suitcase hit the floor. The house echoed empty. Not a single photo left on the walls. Just silence and consequences. Let me take you back to how we got here. Haley left for a company retreat 6 weeks ago. Her boss, Eric, that gel-haired fraud in tight polos, had booked a Spanish getaway for the top performers. Funny how she made the cut after barely closing 2 deals. I kissed her goodbye at the airport like an idiot. But 5 days in, she slipped. Drunk, careless, cocky. She posted a bikini photo from a private villa. 2 wine glasses. 1 shadow behind her. And then came the call that flipped my world upside down. It was 3 a.m. in Ibiza. I've been thinking, she slurred. Maybe we should try an open marriage. What the hell are you talking about? You don't own me, she snapped. Eric says it's healthy to explore. Maybe you should too. That's when I knew my wife wasn't just gone physically. She was gone completely. And I wasn't going to sit around like some chump. You see, when a woman disrespects you that deep, it changes something in you. You either cry on the couch, or you flip the damn table. So I flipped it. Pulled her iCloud. Saw the chats. The photos. The videos. Heard her say, I haven't let Ryan touch me in months. I needed this. Needed this. While I paid the bills. While I supported her when she lost her job and nearly lost herself. That's when I planned the revenge. And believe me, it's only just begun. The moment she hung up that drunken call, I stopped being her husband. I became the man she never expected, focused, calculated, dangerous in my silence. I waited for her to fall asleep. The time difference worked in my favor, and logged into her iCloud from my laptop. She forgot I set up her Apple ID back when we got married. She also forgot I'm not some fool who just sits and cries into a whiskey glass. The messages were all there. You make me feel alive, Eric. He's so boring lately. No, Ryan doesn't suspect a thing. I told him it's a retreat. Can't wait for tonight. Same sweet. My heart was racing, but not with pain, with purpose. Each message was a match, and I was building the fire. I found photos too. Her in a black thong I'd never seen. Her on a yacht with him. Her in a silk robe, taking mirror pics while biting her lip. The same lip she kissed me with before she left. And then a video. She was sitting on his lap, laughing, his hands on her hips. Her whispering something into his ear before he pulled her closer in. I slammed the laptop shut. I didn't need to see more. I'd seen enough to understand what I was dealing with. A selfish, cold-hearted liar who destroyed everything we built for 6 weeks of luxury and lust. But this wasn't just about the betrayal. This was about dignity. I couldn't confront her yet. No, that would give her power. She'd cry, twist it, spin it, make me the villain for snooping. I knew how she operated. She never owned her mistakes. She just buried them under manipulation. So I made a plan. Step 1, lawyer. I called my old college buddy Chris, now a divorce shark in Manhattan. Told him everything. He laughed and said, Bro, we're gonna make her regret ever learning the word Ibiza. He helped me draft the separation papers, and we got to work freezing joint accounts. I pulled out my share of savings, moved it to a private account, canceled her credit cards. She'd come home expecting the world to be waiting, and she'd find a crater instead. Step 2, the IRS. Turns out, Eric was funding the retreat using shady deductions. Chris had a contact in finance law. We anonymously sent over screenshots of their expenses, tagged with company money, all linked to client development. It wasn't just revenge. It was justice. Step 3, disappear. I started removing myself from the house, slowly. 1 photo frame at a time. My clothes, my watch, my gym bag, gone. I left the basic furniture. I wanted her to walk into that shell of a home and feel the silence. But the cherry on top? The broken ring. I took it to the garage, laid it on the workbench, and crushed it with a hammer. Bent it until the band cracked. The diamond popped out and rolled into the drain. I didn't fish it out. It belonged in the dark. I put the crushed band in a box, next to a handwritten letter. No swearing. No rage. Just cold, hard facts. The kind that cut deeper than any screaming match ever could. And then, I left. 6 weeks later, Haley returned from her little open marriage adventure to find everything gone. Her dreams of luxury burned to ash. Her freedom came at a price she never saw coming. And Eric? Let's just say, his next meeting won't be at a beach resort. Haley landed at JFK on a Sunday evening, dragging 3 designer suitcases across the terminal like the world owed her a parade. She was glowing, bronze skin, new hair, probably new lingerie under that innocent traveler outfit. She had no idea the house she was coming back to wasn't a home anymore. I watched it all from my phone. She had shared her location with me months ago for safety. Forgot to turn it off. I knew exactly when she called the Uber, when she turned the key in the door, and when she stood frozen in silence. Then my phone lit up. Haley, 8:03 p.m. Ryan. What is this? Haley, 8:05 p.m. Where's your stuff? Why is the safe empty? Haley, 8:07 p.m. You left me? Are you kidding me? Haley, 8:09 p.m. incoming call. I didn't pick up. I imagined her pacing barefoot through the house, realizing how cold it felt without my presence. No framed memories. No gym bag in the hallway. No sound of the coffee machine I used every morning at 6:45 sharp. Nothing but a ghost. She called again. This time I let it ring once, then hung up. Let her feel that silence. Then came the rage texts. Haley, 8:13 p.m., you're overreacting. Haley, 8:14 p.m., I didn't cheat. We were just exploring like adults. Haley, 8:15 p.m., you're acting like a child, Ryan. You didn't even talk to me. Talk. Talk was for couples. We weren't a couple anymore. That night, I booked a second session with a private investigator I had quietly hired 3 weeks earlier. His name was Dante, ex-military, now running quiet background checks and surveillance gigs. I told him I needed everything on Eric: assets, marital status, dirty secrets. If I was going to burn this house down, I wanted to light it from every corner. Turns out, Eric wasn't single. He had a wife, 2 kids, a $4.5 million home in Connecticut, and a reputation for mentoring younger female employees. Haley was just another in his little collection. But the real twist? His wife, Rachel, was already suspicious. So I called her. Rachel? You don't know me, but I think we have something in common. Silence. Then, oh God, is this about Haley? Bingo. We met the next day at a quiet coffee shop near Grand Central. She looked tired, sharp suit, but her eyes had that "I've cried in the car" shine. I showed her everything. The messages, the photos, the videos. She didn't flinch. I knew it, she whispered. I just couldn't prove it. Until now. That's when we made a pact. She'd confront Eric. I'd stay quiet. For now. Meanwhile, Haley kept texting. Haley, next day, 9:30 a.m., if you don't talk to me, I'll go to your mom's. Haley, 9:45 a.m., fine. I'll talk to my lawyer. Haley, 10:02 a.m., can we at least meet? That last one made me smile. Meet? Sure, Haley. We'll meet. But not the way you expect. You tore everything apart in 6 weeks. Now it's my turn to return the favor, one calculated move at a time. We met at a public place. Neutral ground. A little brunch spot in Brooklyn she used to love, now just a convenient battleground. She walked in late, of course. Sunglasses too big, lips too glossy, trying to play the calm, innocent wife whose only crime was having too much fun. Ryan, she said softly, sliding into the booth across from me. I've missed you. I didn't reply. I just stared. Let her feel the weight of my silence. She took off her glasses slowly, leaning forward like she was about to confess something deep. I know how this looks, but I need you to understand. I didn't plan to fall for Eric. Boom. Right out the gate. Not I'm sorry. Not I made a mistake. She fell for him? I raised an eyebrow. So you're in love with your boss now? Her eyes flickered. No. I mean, it wasn't like that. It was confusing. You've been distant. Stressed. Always at work. I felt like I was disappearing. Oh, so you disappeared into his bed to feel seen? That shut her up for 2 seconds. Then came the classic gaslighting. You weren't exactly perfect either, Ryan. You've been emotionally unavailable for months. You barely even touched me anymore. What did you expect? Loyalty, I said flatly. She flinched. I leaned in closer. You know what the worst part is? It's not the cheating. It's that you lied so easily. With a smile. packed your bikinis, kissed me goodbye, and walked straight into another man's bed for 6 weeks. And you came back thinking what? That I'd be standing here waiting. I didn't know you knew, she snapped, suddenly defensive. Ah, there it was. Truth. She wasn't sorry she did it. She was sorry she got caught. I slid an envelope across the table. What's this? She asked, hesitant. Financial separation agreement. Prepared by my lawyer. Everything I took was legally mine. But I figured I'd let you keep the house, for now. I'm not the monster here. She opened the envelope. Her hands trembled. You already filed? 2 days ago. She blinked fast, like the tears were trying to push their way out. But she didn't dare cry. Not here. Not after everything. I didn't think it would go this far, she whispered. You left the country with another man and bragged about it on Instagram. It wasn't like that. Cut the crap, Haley. The mask started to slip. You know what, she spat. Maybe you're right. Maybe I wanted more. Maybe I was sick of feeling like a trophy wife stuck in a glass case. Trophies don't cheat, I said. They shine. You just shattered. Silence. She stared at the table. I stood up. You lost the best thing you ever had. And Eric? He's about to lose a hell of a lot more. Her head snapped up. What do you mean? Ask his wife. Rachel. And then I walked out. Left her sitting there, stunned. Left her to choke on the fallout she created. Let her realize that the real game had just begun, and she wasn't the one holding the cards anymore. Next stop, Eric. It was time he felt what betrayal really costs. Eric looked up from his desk like I was a delivery guy who walked into the wrong office. He had that fake executive smile, the kind that screams, I sleep like a baby after ruining marriages. Ryan, right? He said, standing and offering a hand like we were golf buddies. I didn't shake it. I just sat down in the leather chair across from him, calm as hell. You have 2 minutes, I said. After that, I stopped being polite. Eric lowered his hand and tried to act alpha. He sat back, legs wide, voice smooth. Look, man, I know this is awkward. I didn't mean for things to go the way they did. Haley said, don't say her name. I cut him off. You don't get to say her name. He blinked, surprised. I didn't come here for apologies. I came here to tell you what's about to happen. I placed a folder on his desk. Inside, screenshots, messages, flight receipts, company credit card charges, hotel bookings, photos of him and Haley half-naked in that Ibiza villa, all labeled and dated. And at the very end, a letter addressed to Rachel Carter, his wife. He opened the folder slowly. His face drained. You didn't, he muttered. I did, I said. And I sent a second copy to your board of directors. He shot up from his chair. Are you out of your mind? No, I said calmly. Just tired of being quiet. He paced behind the desk, running a hand through his perfect hair like that would stop the avalanche coming for him. This is blackmail, he hissed. No, this is exposure, I corrected. You blackmailed yourself when you slept with a married woman while using company funds to fly her across the globe. Look, Ryan, whatever's going on between you and Haley, that's personal. Don't drag business into it. Oh, I didn't. You did. When you paid for her lingerie on the company Amex. When you booked that corporate suite at a 5-star resort. For 2. I stood. You're a fraud. A homewrecker. And soon, an unemployed man if your board has any integrity. Eric's lips tightened. I could tell he was trying to figure out how to fix this, how to charm his way out. But there was no charm left in that room. Tell Haley, I added before leaving, that the next time she wants a man with power, she should make sure he doesn't build his empire on lies. And then I walked out. No yelling. No fists. Just the sound of my boots echoing down the marble hallway of a crumbling kingdom. Later that night, I got a text from an unknown number. Rachel, 9:46 p.m., he confessed. He's out of the house. Thank you. Short. Final. Beautiful. One domino down. But I wasn't done yet. Because now that Haley had lost her lover, it was time for her to lose her image. She wanted freedom? I'd show her what it really costs. It started with a story. No, not hers. Mine. I posted a single Instagram story. Just black text on a white background. When your wife sleeps with her boss during a business trip and comes back shocked that you left. Wild world. No names. No direct callouts. But people talk. And Haley? She thrived in social circles that lived for gossip and fake smiles. By noon, the comments started flooding in. Wait, is this about Haley? Didn't she just get back from Spain with Eric? Oh my God. I knew something was up. I didn't say a word. I just watched. That evening, I got a message from someone I hadn't spoken to in over a year, Samantha. Haley's best friend. The same girl who always smiled a little too sadly when she saw me. The one who got pushed out of Haley's circle after calling her out for being toxic. Samantha, 6:01 p.m. Ryan. Can we talk? I agreed. We met at a quiet park. She didn't waste time. I've wanted to say something for so long, she said, biting her lip. But Haley made me feel like I'd lose everyone if I did. What is it? I asked, already bracing myself. She looked me dead in the eye. She didn't just cheat with Eric. Ibiza wasn't the first time. It's been going on for at least a year, maybe more. I blinked. With who? She hesitated. I only know one name for sure. Jace. Jace. That name burned into the back of my skull. Haley's trainer during her fitness phase. The guy she swore just helped her with meal plans. I saw them once, Samantha said. She was drunk, sitting on his lap at some party. Told me to stop being a prude when I called her out. My jaw clenched. Hard. So you knew all this time? I suspected, she said quietly. But Haley was like poison back then. If you crossed her, she made sure you paid for it. She lied, twisted everything, turned people against each other. I didn't have proof, and I didn't think you'd believe me. I didn't respond right away. My hands were trembling, not with fear, not even with rage. Just this deep, pulsing ache in my chest. Because even now, even after everything, I hadn't realized how long she'd been gone from our marriage. It wasn't just a moment of weakness in Ibiza. It was a lifestyle, a pattern. AF *****ing addiction. Samantha pulled out her phone, showed me screenshots, old group chats, photos, Haley bragging about sneaking around and keeping Ryan in the dark. She laughed at how much you trusted her, she whispered. That broke something in me. Not because I was surprised, but because I wasn't. It all made sense now. The cold nights, the fake apologies, the way she always flipped arguments like I was the one doing something wrong. She wasn't sorry for cheating. She was sorry she couldn't keep the lie going forever. Thank you, I finally said to Samantha. You didn't have to do this. Yes, I did, she replied. You deserve the truth. And she deserves to lose everything she lied to get. And that's when I knew what part 3 of my plan would be. The final blow. The public one. The one that would leave her reputation in ashes. The same way she left our marriage. Haley was throwing a party. Of course she was. She called it a welcome back soiree. Invited all the fake friends, the brunch girls, the Instagram clout chasers she always surrounded herself with. A rooftop event with champagne, fairy lights, and a photographer for content. She thought she was rising from the ashes. She didn't know the match hadn't even been lit yet. I wasn't supposed to be there. At least, not on the guest list. But I had my ways. A mutual friend owed me a favor. Slipped me the address in time. Told me Haley had been weirdly upbeat lately, like she thought she'd dodged a bullet. She had no idea the sniper was still watching. The rooftop was glowing, expensive, shallow. People smiled with their eyes on their phones, not each other. The drinks flowed. Laughter echoed. Then came her big entrance. Haley stepped out in a sleek black dress, all legs and fake humility. Thank you all for coming, she beamed, raising her glass. It's been a transformative summer. Oh, it had. I walked in right as she started listing how she'd grown as a person. She froze when she saw me. Eyes widened just slightly, but her mouth kept moving. And I've realized, through challenges, that the truth always finds its way. Perfect. I stepped forward casually. Calm. Ice cold. Holding a manila envelope. Mind if I say a few words? I said, loud enough for the crowd. People turned. A few whispered. She stuttered something like, this is... But I was already speaking. My name's Ryan. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Haley's husband. Well, ex-husband, soon enough. A wave of gasps. Haley hissed, Ryan, not here. Oh no, sweetheart, I smiled. Exactly here. You wanted an audience. Let's give them a show. I opened the envelope and pulled out photos. A few prints of her and Eric, tangled in bedsheets, time-stamped. One of her in a robe on a yacht, kissing him. Another, her drunk at a bar, sitting on some guy's lap. Jace. I held them up, one by one. This is what she did while married to me. While posting love of my life photos for likes. While pretending to be someone loyal, someone classy, someone honest. The crowd was silent. Dead quiet. Then whispers. Then movement. Phones out. Recording. She lunged forward. Give me that. I stepped back. Nah, you've taken enough already. You're embarrassing yourself, she hissed, her voice shaking. No, I'm setting myself free. Then I pulled out one last item. A flash drive. This, I said, holding it up, contains messages. Videos. Her own words. Her bragging about cheating. About how easy it was. About how she thought I was too boring to notice. I looked her in the eye. I wasn't boring. I was faithful. Something you'll never understand. She slapped me. Right there, in front of everyone. But it was too late. Because in that moment, people weren't looking at me. They were looking at her, furious, exposed, unraveling. I leaned in close and whispered, "You built your little image on lies." I just knocked the first brick out. Watch it fall. Then I walked away. Didn't need to stay. Didn't need to scream. The truth was louder than anything I could say. And Haley? She was now exactly what she feared the most. Alone. And seen. It's been 4 months since that rooftop. 4 months since I burned the mask off the woman I once called my wife. Haley tried to survive it, of course. She posted an empowerment video the next morning, claiming it was all taken out of context, calling me emotionally abusive, saying she had been set up. It didn't work. Not this time. Too many people had seen the truth with their own eyes. The screenshots, the messages, the way her face twisted when I exposed her. Not the face of a woman wronged, but a woman caught. Her influencer deals dried up. Sponsors dropped her. That clean, classy brand she spent years building crumbled in a week. And Eric? He lost everything. His wife Rachel filed for divorce 2 days after our talk. The board removed him within a month after an internal audit found. Well, let's just say the Ibiza trip wasn't the first time he rewarded employees with company cash. Last I heard, he was living in a rented apartment and trying to launch some weak coaching program for young entrepreneurs. The comments section eats him alive daily. As for Haley, I don't know where she is. And I don't care. Maybe she's in another city. Maybe still trying to rebuild her image. Maybe sitting in front of a mirror wondering where it all went wrong. And still too proud to admit it was all her fault. Me? I'm good. I bought a small cabin 2 hours outside the city. Quiet. Clean. Real. I spend my mornings running trails, lifting, building something with my hands. No drama. No lies. Just peace. The kind I hadn't felt in years. Sometimes I think about the version of me that kissed her goodbye at the airport. The guy who believed her so blindly, who ignored every red flag because he thought love was supposed to hurt sometimes. That guy's gone. I buried him. I buried the boy who loved her. And I became the man she was never ready for. I'm not saying revenge healed me. It didn't. But justice? Justice gave me clarity. So here's what I'll tell any man listening. The ones who feel that gut punch, who see the signs but keep lying to themselves. If you feel it in your bones, you're not crazy. If she suddenly treats you like the problem, look deeper. If she starts dressing up, staying out late, hiding her phone, that's not growth. That's guilt. And if she says, you're too emotional, you're paranoid, you're insecure, she's probably already gone. But don't waste your tears. Don't beg. Don't scream at the wall hoping it'll listen. Stand up. Get quiet. And move like a man who remembers his worth. Because you can rebuild a bank account. You can recover from betrayal. But what you can't afford is losing yourself trying to love someone who was never real. So thank you, Haley. Thank you for showing me exactly what I don't want. Because now, when I find someone real, I'll know it. And I'll never settle for pretty lies again.